The OWASP top 10 number 3, or the third most common vulnerabilities, falls under software supply chain failures. So the software supply chain is something really important we need to understand. It's made up of things like our dependencies, our open source dependencies that we use. Around about 75 to 90% of your application are built on these open source dependencies. And this one is easy to talk about. There's been lots of compromises of these packages. For example, in 2025, debug, chalk, ANSI styles were all compromised via one phishing campaign. In total, the packages that were compromised in this one attack were downloaded 2.6 billion times a week, right? And the impact of that was massive. And attackers love to target this type of supply chain because they can have massive spread, right? They put malware in one package and it can go across into millions of applications. But your software supply chain is more than just your open source packages. It's also things like your IDE, the tool that you use to code, something like VS Code or Cursor. A big trend right now is turning VS Code extensions malicious. Now, this is especially true for VS Code clones like Cursor and Windsurf. And what this does, if they can turn or they can create a malicious extension, they can steal secrets or other kind of credentials from your local machine. Other parts of your software supply chain may be things like your CI/CD pipeline where you're testing your application. All of these are parts of it, and attackers really love going after this because they can invest a huge amount of resources and target lots of areas. So how we combat that, traditionally we use something called SCA, Software Composition Analysis. And this basically looks at all the dependencies in your application and do they have any known vulnerabilities. Now, this is still a component that we use, but there's a whole bunch more. We also need something called malware scanning. But this is really looking for malware in all the components like your VS Code extensions and your packages. I don't want to get too deep into the whole malware detection thing because then we need to talk about databases and real-time updating. But just understand that that's the tool that you're going to need to secure your software supply chain.